Hello, Saxon564 here with another IRC scripting tutorial. In the last episode, I went over how to use an alias, and in this episode, we will be making a game. I'm not going to say a basic game, but a fun game, one of the first games that I made when I was learning. We will be making roulette. Now, many of you will think roulette as in the gambling game roulette, but I mean the game Russian roulette, and we'll set it up to allow up to 4 players, and we may set it up so it has a classic revolver with 6 shots and then a modern revolver with 18. I don't know about that, but we will see, time depending. So we'll start by making 2 new files, and we'll quickly type in this one on text star hashtag. So we've got that, and we'll do save as, and then we'll save it there. This is my second time recording. I had run into a few problems earlier with it not saving properly, so I've got it all figured out now. But we'll do alias turn, and we'll save this as rush rule alias, and there we go. So we've got our 2 basic files set up. Now in here we're going to set this to roulette. I think that's it. And that'll be it. So we'll do this. Set percent P1 equal. Actually, we don't need that. Set percent P1 Nick. Then we'll do message Nick. Thank you for starting a game of Russian RUSSIAN roulette. And then we'll do message Chan, type join, or we'll set it to rjoin, to join the game of Russian roulette, if I can spell that. And one other thing we should add here real quick is set percent rule on to true. So we'll use that to determine if the game is actually on with the fire commands. And let me fix this here. Okay, so we'll do also add set percent max player to 4 and set percent players to 1. So what that's going to do is, I'll quickly do that. So to go through this, someone types in roulette, it's going to turn it on, set player 1 to whoever activated it, the max players is 4. Now how many players there are, it's going to set that to 1, and then messages the person who activated it saying thank you for starting the game, and then telling everyone to type rjoin to join the game. So now we'll do on star text rjoin, and we'll actually do set %chan to chan. Then we can set it here, set that to %chan. And that should work. Actually, I'm going to change that to this, and then do an if chan equals %chan, then everything, then all the code. So in here we will do inc %players. So what that's going to do is it's going to increase the variable of players, and then set %p %players to Nick. And actually what we're going to want to do right here, if %players is greater than %max player, then it'll go into here. Then we do message Nick, thank you for joining the game of Russian roulette. So now that we have that, we'll throw in an else right here. Message Nick, I'm sorry, but the game is already full. Now, we also want to do this to set to message %p1. Nick has joined the game. Type rpoll to start the game. And we also want to do if %players equals %max player, we want it to say message chan the game of Russian roulette is now full, then message %p1, and we'll do the exact same message, and we'll keep it at that. So with all that, 1, 2, 3. Let me make sure that I put this in the right spot here. So that closes that. That closes that. This else opens here. This closes the else. That closes that. Okay. So we've got that, and I think we're going to want to test it here. Give me just a second. Okay. So I've gone to Mibit quickly and made a few more names in here. So here's what so we're going to test it. Roulette. Then it messaged me saying, "Thank you for starting a game of Russian roulette." And then in Mibit, I know you guys can't see this, I'll just type rjoin. Might be a good idea to save that if I didn't. So let's try this again. Else if insufficient parameters. On line 23. Hmm. Whoop. Okay, so we'll set this back to 1. And then we'll try this again. Okay, so it's saying I'm sorry, the game is already full, so it's going straight to here. If %players is greater than %max players, opens there. Let's see. Hmm. I don't know what is causing this right now. Let's try modifying it that way. We'll do this on all of those right now. Then rjoin. Hmm. Um. Try that, but I don't think that's going to change anything. What is causing this here? So, I guess I can try this. Don't think that's going to change anything, but we will see. That did not change the outcome at all. So, one good debugging technique, message me here one, message me here two, message me here three. So we will now run that script again. What is going on here? Okay, just need to stop that infinite loop here. Okay, there we go. So, else, unknown command. Else, unknown command. Okay, let's try it there now. Here one, here three, here one, here three. Shouldn't have done that twice. Player 5. So, maybe I've got it fixed. Okay, so that's telling me I have something buggy right here. Oh, okay. I see. Just have to swap that around. There we go. Because I was checking to see if percent players was greater than max players, and I wanted it to be less than. So rjoin, and if we look right here, Darm has joined the game. Type rpoll to start game. But I do need to move this back down here. So I'll quickly do this on all the others. Our poll. Whoops. My bad. Our join. Why is it giving that now? Okay, and then last. Oh, okay. This needs to be less than or equal to. So if we change that back to 3, as you can see, player 2 Darm, player 3 Sax, and our join. If we refresh this, player 4 Saxon, and yet it still did that message. It's doing this message right here for some reason. I don't know how it's getting in there. Actually, do X. Put that back there. Check. So let me run one last quick test to make sure that message doesn't pop up again. We'll set that to 3. Our join. Okay, I don't know why it's doing that. So what we can do with this to actually stop this from working is from giving a false message. If percent players is greater than percent max player, then do that. Alright, so that should remove the bug that we were getting where it was giving off. Here, I'll show you real quick. I would type our join, and it was giving off the error. It would say, "Thank you for joining the game of Russian roulette," but then not long after say, "I'm sorry, but the game is already full." So that should remove that error. So, but other than that, this is working pretty well. So now we'll move on to our poll, and I'm going to fix that. So on star text our poll, and for this we're actually going to try to do percent Chan. Okay, so now we're going to do some. We're going to add set percent pull pass equal to 6. Set percent pull kill equal to rand 1, 6. So that's going to randomize a number between 1 and 6 right there. And actually what we should do is set that in there. And we'll add rush to all of these, so later on we can remove them all nice and easily. Alright, so I've got all that done. I'm also going to add a bit here where if Nick equals percent rush P1, we're going to take that, copy that, or P2, or P3, or P4, message Nick, you are already in the game. And we will add the word halt there so it just stops the script. That way it doesn't continue on and do everything else. So now that we've got that, we are going to go here and we'll set rush pull once again, going to set that up here. Set rush pull to 0. So we're going to increase that. If I hit the I instead of the O. So there we go. We've got that. If percent rush pull equals percent rush pull kill, then it's going to say message Chan Nick has lost the game of our Russian roulette. Then we'll do unset percent rush star. So what that's going to do is it's going to unset everything that starts with rush. One other thing we're going to want to do is up here also set percent play turn to 1. Okay. So now that we have that in, we're going to add something down here. If if percent, let's see here, if Nick equals percent P plus percent play turn. And so we do that. Then we're going to take this and do that. If it does not equal that, Nick has survived another round of Russian roulette. Remove that, and we're actually going to go to next turn. And that needs to be one word. Or was it just turn? View. Okay, so we need to go make that just turn. Because that in and of itself could be an entire section like this. So it's just going to be easier to have it as an alias. Then we're going to add on part percent Shan if so set, sorry about that. Let's see, where were we? What was that for? Oh, the interruption made me lose my entire train of thought. On part percent Shan. I don't know what I was doing here. Alright, now I remember what I was doing. We're going to set percent rush count to 0. Yep, 0. And then we're going to do if actually we're going to set that to 1. If Nick equals percent P and with percent rush count, and need to change that to rush P. I have a feeling that I did that somewhere else too. That needs to be rush rush, and rush. Okay, that should cover it all. So, and I need to change that to a square bracket. And what we're going to do here is decrease percent rush players, and then we're going to unset I don't even need to do this. That you'd want to use that if you were using a while loop, but we're not doing that in this case. Rush P1, then we're going to halt, then 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, and 4. And we're also going to add an if in here. If percent rush players equals 1, then we'll do end. Okay, so that should work, and we also want to change this to also be quit. Alright, so there we are. We've got all that working. And our pull should also be working. Aha, right there is where I screwed up. Rush. There we go. I knew I had done that before, somewhere else. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear that. This is all saved. And we are going to... Okay, I see the spelling error in that now. So now we've got that. Thank you for starting a game of Russian roulette. And I'll just quickly do it over here. Our join. Let's see here. I did something wrong already. Okay, right there's the problem. Now we will do our join again, and it still didn't work. Let's see here. I wonder. Shouldn't be that. I'm going to modify that though. Rush. I'll change this to rush. And okay. It went into this for some reason. So let's try doing this. And we'll quickly get this done here. The entire point of this tutorial is pretty much to show you how you can make something like this and what goes into actually making it. Okay, so let's run this again. Our join. You are already in the game. How am I in the game? Because it's obvious right here, not in the game. Um, hmm. So that makes me wonder if this is even going to work. I think what I'm going to have to do is check all these. So I'll get this set up real quick and show you exactly what I did. Okay, so simply all I did was I made these little if statements here, and that should fix the problem. There we go. So now if we look here, Saxon has joined the game, type rpoll to start the game. So I'll I'll get all the others to join here. There we go. Now I'll pull this over here real quick and show you our join. You are already in the game. So that's working. Now that all the variables are completely updated, there we go. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? So let's see. So we've got all that. Now we're going to go to the alias and do the turn mechanism. Wait, going to make sure I have this checking. Rush. Okay, good. So, view. Now we want to increase percent rush player turn. I think that's what we have it at. Yep. Now I'm trying to make sure these are to the exactly the same to the capital, just to make sure it doesn't conflict with anything, though it shouldn't anyway. But it also makes it easy to tell what it goes with what. So now we set. Actually, I think. Okay, so now we increase if %rush player turn is greater than 4, then it will set %rush player turn to 1. So that should work. Now we're going to want to have a series of these. Let's see here. How would if %rush p, and just for sake of time, %rush player turn equals null, which means it doesn't exist. Then we want to do this. And that should we're going to cycle this a little bit. So we'll go cycle. And we also want to do hold on here. We kind of want to stack this then. So we will do go to cycle. And that's going to mean we have as little, should mean we have as little code in there as possible. And then we need to do message chan. It is now %rush p %rush player turn turn. So if I did this right, it should work. And we will run a test right now. So now if I do our poll, actually, before I do that, let's see here. Rush, poll, kill. So whoever is player 2 should lose. So that would be just Saxon. So we'll do our poll. Okay, so if we look here, what did I do wrong? View, rush rule main. Okay, so it doesn't like that, so we'll just do that, that, and we will take that and implement it into here, as well as that. So that should fix that. Then our poll. Okay, so it did not do that correctly. Variables, rush player turn. So let's go to here, and in this cycle we will do message me here, and we will make it that. We will also reset that to 0. Our poll. Oh, I think I know what that was about. Okay, that makes sense. So, let's see here. See if I can figure out. Okay, not that one. Not that one. Okay, so I will go to here and type our poll. Okay. It didn't like that for some reason. What went wrong with that? Our poll. Why aren't you accepting that? Variables. Rush player turn. Player 2 Saxon. Let's see. I know it had to have worked the first time. Here one. Then we'll put this one. 3 and 4. Didn't even give this message. Yep. Okay, so let's do that again. There's the beep that I want. Here 1. Twice. Oh, okay. There we go. That would be why. That should fix it all. Or not. Um, wrong one. Let's see. Our pull. Why aren't you catching on that one? Wait a minute. Oh, there's rush play turn and rush player turn. Okay, I see. So that should be a fairly simple fix. Actually, I'll keep with the play turn. Go into the alias. Okay, there we go. That should actually fix it. And I realize I kind of screwed up there. So I'm going to reset the entire thing and do roulette. Then in here you'll get to see them all. R join, and R join. So now you see game of Russian roulette is now full, and we will now go R poll. Let's see. Now the one. Okay, so it'll kill on player 4, which happens to be Darm. So we'll work our way over. Our pull. Our pull. And our pull. So now if we refresh this page, that's only there because of a typo. But you saw that all of them were gone. And in fact, we don't even need that. And there we go. So we now have a fully functioning Russian roulette script. I think that is actually good for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned a lot with this. I'm going to work on getting my own website in which I can put these larger scripts up for you guys to download and take a look at. And yeah, in the next episode, we will be looking at tokens. And a token is storing multiple pieces of data under one variable. It's kind of like an array, but it cannot stack. So you can't put a token inside of a token. But it does have a lot of uses, and I expect this going over tokens to take a couple episodes just so you guys have enough information to actually use them. So, once again, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys later. Bye.